If you are about to spend close to $200,000 on a new semi-truck, you need to watch this before you sign anything. Because the two trucks everyone is fighting over right now, the 2026 Freightliner Cascadia and the 2026 Volvo VNL, are not the same truck wearing a different badge. One of them is built to save you money on repairs. The other one is built to keep your driver in the seat longer. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which one fits your operation.
Today, we are putting these two trucks side by side. Engine, transmission, fuel numbers, interior, safety tech, and price. No brochure talk, just what actually matters when this truck is sitting in your yard for the next 5 years. Let's get into it. Let's start with the engine, because this is where most buyers make their first mistake.
The 2026 Cascadia runs the Detroit DD15, now in its 5th generation, and it tops out at 505 horsepower, with torque ratings that stretch up to around 1,850 pound-feet, depending on how you spec it. That 505 number is the highest peak horsepower Freightliner has ever offered on this truck, and that is not an accident. Freightliner knows a lot of owner-operators shop on the horsepower sticker, the same way people shop for a pickup truck. Big number, big pull, feels powerful. And on paper, it works, because 505 beats anything Volvo is currently selling.
But here is the catch. The Volvo VNL runs the D13 engine, and while its top rating sits at 500 horsepower, its torque can climb all the way to 1,950 pound-feet in the Turbo Compound version. That is more twisting force than the Cascadia offers, even with fewer horses on paper. Why does Volvo build it this way? Because torque is what actually pulls a loaded trailer up a grade at low RPM, while horsepower is what wins an argument at a truck stop. Volvo's Turbo Compound system captures extra energy straight out of the exhaust stream and feeds it back into the crankshaft, so you get more pulling power without burning more diesel to get it. That is a real engineering advantage for anyone running heavy freight on rolling terrain, because you are getting grunt from wasted energy instead of from the fuel tank. So which one wins in the real world? If your routes are flat interstate miles with lighter loads, the Cascadia's higher horsepower rating will feel snappier and more responsive. If you are hauling heavy on hills, the Volvo's torque advantage will get you up that hill using less fuel doing it. Neither one is the wrong answer. It depends on what you're actually hauling and where. Now let's talk transmissions, because this is another spot where the two trucks split. The Cascadia uses the Detroit DT12, a 12-speed automated manual. The VNL uses Volvo's iShift, also 12 or 13-speed depending on spec. And Volvo says its newest version shifts up to 30% faster than before. Why does shift speed even matter? Because every time a transmission takes a beat too long to grab the next gear, you lose momentum, and getting that momentum back burns fuel. A faster shifting transmission means less power lost between gears, especially when you're climbing a grade fully loaded. Drivers who run both trucks back-to-back consistently say the iShift feels smoother in stop-and-go regional work, while the DT12 feels more like a workhorse, simple, tough, and easy for a shop to diagnose when something goes wrong. If uptime and simple repairs matter more to you than a silky shift feel, that leans toward Freightliner. Next, let's talk about fuel economy and aerodynamics, because this is the number that actually decides whether your business makes money this year. Freightliner redesigned the Cascadia's hood, grille, front bumper, and added new A-pillar deflectors, and the company claims fuel efficiency gains of up to 35%. That sounds massive, and it is, but you need context. That number is being measured against an older Cascadia from several years back, not against last year's truck. So don't expect a 35% jump over the model sitting in your yard right now. Volvo, on the other hand, claims up to a 10% improvement with its new VNL, thanks to a curved windshield, a wedge-shaped hood, and tighter panel gaps around the wheel openings and the bumper that cut down turbulent air. 10% sounds smaller, but it is being measured more conservatively, generation to generation, which honestly makes it an easier number to trust. My advice here is simple. Do not buy off a marketing percentage.
Ask a fleet that is already running the exact spec you want for their real-world miles per gallon logs, because paper numbers and highway numbers are two very different animals.
Let's move to how these two trucks actually look, because looks affect resale and driver pride, and don't let anyone tell you that doesn't matter. The Cascadia keeps a more traditional big rig face, boxy hood, upright grille, a shape that says American long-haul truck the second you see it. That familiarity is valuable because drivers who have run Freightliners for 20 years know exactly what they're getting. And that recognition helps resale value in a market flooded with used trucks. The Volvo VNL takes the opposite approach, with a swept-back, curved windshield and a rounded, angular hood that looks more like something out of Europe. It is a more dramatic shape, and it photographs better for a company that wants their trucks to look like a statement rolling down the interstate. Neither look is wrong. It just depends on whether you want your truck blending in with the fleet next to you or standing out from it.
Now for the part that actually keeps drivers in your truck instead of quitting after 2 months: the interior.
The Cascadia's cabin is functional. You get a 7-inch touchscreen for infotainment, a factory refrigerator option, decent storage, and sleepers up to 72 inches in a raised roof configuration. It works, it's comfortable enough, and drivers who are used to it don't complain. But compared to what Volvo is doing, some fleet feedback says the Cascadia's interior feels a step behind on premium materials. The Volvo VNL, especially in its ultimate trim, goes hard the other direction. You're looking at a digital instrument cluster, wireless phone charging, leather seats with memory settings, heating, cooling, and even massage functions, plus separate electronic climate control for the cab and the sleeper area. Sleeper sizes stretch up to 77 inches with a double bunk in some configurations. Why is Volvo spending this much on comfort? Because trucking has a driver shortage problem that isn't going away, and turnover costs fleets real money in recruiting and training. A cab that feels like a small apartment instead of a workstation is a retention tool, not just a luxury. If keeping drivers happy and loyal is a priority for your business, the VNL interior is doing real work for you there. Let's talk safety technology, because this is where both trucks are racing each other hard.
The Cascadia now comes standard with the Detroit Assurance Suite, which includes forward collision mitigation, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and side object detection. That is a strong standard package. But here's something buyers need to know. Cross Traffic Assist, the feature that watches for vehicles crossing your path at an intersection, is not available on the 2026 Cascadia. Freightliner has confirmed that feature arrives on trucks built starting in 2027. So if you're buying a 2026 model this year, you are getting last year's intersection protection, not the newest version.
Volvo's answer is called VADA, the Volvo Active Driver Assist System, and it already includes pedestrian detection, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, road sign recognition, and adaptive cruise control across the current lineup. Volvo also runs a brand new 24-volt electrical architecture, making them the first to bring this to North America. Why does that matter to you? A higher voltage system handles all these cameras, sensors, and control modules with less voltage drop through long wiring runs, which means more reliable cold starts and faster fault diagnosis when something needs fixing.
So which one wins in the real world? If your routes are flat interstate miles with lighter loads, the Cascadia's higher horsepower rating will feel snappier and more responsive. If you are hauling heavy on hills, the Volvo's torque advantage will get you up that hill using less fuel doing it. Neither one is the wrong answer. It depends on what you're actually hauling and where.
Now, cost of ownership, because this is where a lot of buyers get surprised 2 years down the road. Freightliner has the largest dealer and parts network in North America, full stop. Their biggest plant alone runs over 2,000 employees, and that scale means if your Cascadia breaks down almost anywhere in the country, there's a strong chance the nearest dealer already has the part on the shelf.
For a fleet running tight delivery windows, that kind of parts availability is worth real money and reduced downtime. The trade-off is the after-treatment system, the emissions equipment, often called the one box, which can get expensive to repair as the truck ages, which is why a lot of fleets cycle Cascadias out before 600 to 700,000 miles to dodge those bigger repair bills. Volvo's dealer network is smaller by comparison, which can mean a longer wait on certain parts in rural areas. But the 24-volt system has held up as one of the more reliable architectures in the class, and Volvo's premium positioning has generally helped it hold resale value a little better on the used market, since buyers hunting for a comfortable used truck often pay up specifically for the Volvo name.
Finally, the number everyone actually wants: the price. A well-equipped 2026 Cascadia with a 505 horsepower DD15 and a 72-inch raised roof sleeper is landing around $190,000 to $195,000 on dealer lots. A comparably equipped VNL 860 in the Ultimate trim with a similar sleeper setup is landing in almost the exact same range, right around $190,000. These trucks are not priced apart from each other at the top end, so the decision does not come down to which one is cheaper, because at this spec level, it's basically a coin flip on price.
So here's the real breakdown. If you want the biggest parts and service network in the country, a familiar look your drivers already trust, and raw horsepower on paper, the Cascadia is your truck. If you want stronger low-end torque for heavy hauling, a more premium interior that helps you keep drivers longer, and a more advanced electrical system, the Volvo VNL is your truck. Both are priced almost identically at the top spec, so this comes down to what your business actually needs: uptime and familiarity, or comfort and torque. If this saved you from making an expensive mistake, subscribe, because the next truck comparison is coming right up.